Okay there. Hey, folks. Well, I don't know if anybody here is with us or not yet, but I thought I'd go ahead and get started. It's 9 a.m. on, what is today? Wednesday morning? Tuesday morning? Whatever. So I started doing these live streams at this time for people on the opposite side of the planet, the Europeans and those sorts of folks. So that's what we're doing today. I hope everybody out there can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Hey, James Taylor, welcome. How you doing today? Carl and Jenny, hey, Grandpa, switch to live view. Still got your pickup. Yes, I know that. I did that for a reason, Carl and Jenny. Germany is in the house. Willkommen. Nice to see you, Martin. Yes, I'm intentionally just leaving the picture up there because I have a reveal to do this morning. Hey, Judy, how are you doing? 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Here we go. Hey, Maui Lay, nice to see you, man. Better just got out of the hospital. Oh, James, what's going on, man? Sorry to hear that. Hey, Sorrenti, how you doing? Hello, Scott. Reacting to blogging, love it. Oh, yes, okay. Hey, Whole Shot, how you doing? Grandpa is bald. Martin, you know me apparently fairly well. Hey, Christine, how you doing? All right, yes. You guys are getting it already. I'll switch over so you can see the damage. There you go. Now, just as a reminder, this is what I used to look like. Here's what we look like today. I think I look younger and fatter. So, hey, Steve, how you doing? Welcome from Greece. Hello, Brad Bow. Cold in Alaska. It's 50 degrees or so this morning up here. Hey, Rod, nice to see you. Hey, Farts. Oh, no. Yeah, guys, that's just the half of it. Got my Telly Savalas going on. There you go. There's the full Monty, guys. Hey, a lot of guys, hey, Empty Nest Selling, a lot of guys were complaining about me needing a haircut. I was giving Bob at Selling Doodle's last live stream a hard time about his long hair. And people were saying, well, you shouldn't talk, Grandpa. Well, yes, I should, because it's all gone. Getting ready for the tropics, guys. I'm getting ready for warm weather and to go scuba diving and stuff, and all that hair just gets in the way. So I'm breaking bad. Yeah, breaking bald, more like. Feels a little weird. Got a little bristly effect going on, but I like it. Yeah, I do look like a completely different person, don't I? Weird. Hello, Patrick. How are things down in Naples? Cue ball goes selling. I like that. Yeah, it's pretty bald. It's pretty bald. Oh gosh. So yeah, it was time. It was just time to get going with it, you know. I'm getting ready for a big change, and I figure this is as good a way as any to embrace the change in my life and getting out of Alaska and going to head down to the tropics. And obviously, I'm going to have to keep a hat on to stop from getting sunburnt up there, you know. I've been teasing Rhonda. I think I might try to shave it all off, you know, with the razor and put a little wax up there so I can get a little shine going. But, you know, I think I'm going to let it grow back just a little, just for a little sun protection. But we'll see. We will see. It was always like talking to a grizzly. Yeah, well, I had a lot of... Up here in Alaska, you know, it just makes sense to have a lot of hair. Keeps the mosquitoes off of you, keeps you warm. You guys would be surprised how warm that beard is. It sort of traps warm air against your face, so when you get outside where it's cold, it really keeps your chin and neck warm. So, but now it'll be nice to get out and see what happens. Hey, Farts and Glory, I hope you're right, man. I hope the women go crazy now, you know. They say that the brain is the most important sex organ, and by taking the hair off, I'm just increasing access, you know, so we'll see. From one bald guy to another, I hope you have several hats. You will burn. Yes, I have several hats. Yeah. When am I setting sail? Good question, Kay Carnahan. Good question. It looks like we're still on schedule to close here by the end of the month. So I should be leaving Alaska about the first week of September. So like 28, 30 days, somewhere in that neighborhood. Then I'll be driving from here down to Montana. I got a few items to take care of in Montana. So that'll take about a week, week and a half. Then I'm going to bounce over to Ohio to see my grandchildren and my sons. And that's going to be a couple days there. Probably see my ex-wife as well and say hello to Johanna. And then I'll be heading down to Florida. Right now, a friend and I, looks like we're going to take his boat over from Florida over to Puerto Rico and not fly over. We're going to sail over. And I'll get the rough seas and bring it back to Florida where I can get some work done to it and really stock it up so I'm ready to head to the Bahamas for the winter. So I stay buzzed on top, but the beard stays. Sideburns would have been over the top. Okay. At the moment, I am also heaving long hair in the beard. Cool. Solar panel for a sex machine. There you go, Carl. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. A natural magnet also doesn't need a cover. There you go. Well, you know, it's just time for a change, guys. It's just time for a change. I'm trying to embrace the whole new lifestyle, getting out of Alaska and getting down to the tropics. And maybe it was a little premature to take the hair off now, but it just felt right the other day. So I went and took it all off. So now we will see where we go from here. So, hey, for those guys that have your own YouTube channel, like Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures, anybody else on here that has their own sailing channel, please put the name of your channel in the description so people can, or at least claim who you are so people can jump in and subscribe to you. That would be great. Who's that guy that sounds like Grandpa? Yeah, right? It looks a lot different, doesn't it? I mean, that's radical. Radical. You get some just before sailing in. Okay. That good that way you get some just before sailing in. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, Judy, but okay. Hey, 9mm James, how you doing? Steve says, oh, Carl won't ask where the wind generator might be. Okay. Grandpa, are you worried about hurricanes this time of year? Yes, Connie, absolutely. There is a tropical. I've been tracking them. There's a tropical storm or a tropical depression. Not really. There's a activity out in the Atlantic right now. Looks like that's going to head north of the Caribbean. So it doesn't appear to be a problem anymore as of first thing this morning. But yes, this time of year you really got to watch the weather closely. Right now, the rough seas is in a good marina in a well-protected harbor in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So it should be fine if a hurricane goes in that area, unless it's something really radical. But we'll have to see what happens. And of course, that will affect my timing with being able to sail to Puerto Rico and then also to sail from Puerto Rico back to Florida. By the time I get done in Florida with restocking and the work I want to do to the boat, will probably be almost to the end of hurricane season at that point. It will be into October, and then, you know, November 1st, it's safe to be out in the Caribbean without too much worry at that point. So, actually, you know, it's been really quiet hurricane season this year. It's been amazingly quiet hurricane season this year. So we're really due for a big storm. I'm just concerned that we're going to have one come pretty late in the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Morning coffee. Oh, man. Oh, that's good coffee. Grandpa, you worried about her? Okay, I answered that. I have to think all of the time, a Dutch living in Germany, working together with Spanish and Polish people. Okay, Martin. A Dutch living in Germany, working together with Spanish and Polish people. Okay. What do you mean you have to think all the time? I guess because of the different nationalities there? Frankly, I would find that really interesting. I love Germany. Been there a couple of times. Beautiful country. Used to be, it's getting a little overbuilt in my mind. A little too many people, too much construction, and kind of don't have as much hunting woods as what it used to have, but beautiful country nonetheless. I'm actually very much German. I have a lot of German in my background. Get some sailing in before you pick up the boat. Yes, Judy, we'll be getting a little bit of sailing in, sailing from Florida down through the Bahamas to Puerto Rico. How long will it take to get the work done to the rough seas? Whole shot, I really don't know yet. I won't have an answer to that until I get on the boat. I imagine I've got about a month's worth of work to do to it, though. Hey, what did you do with Grandpa? Yeah, right? Looks a whole lot different, don't it? You're going to have to send us an updated video clip for our opening titles. No, Carl and Jenny, it's fine. I'll just leave the one. You can't see my hair in that one anyway because of the fur hat on, so it'll be fine. We haven't been hit with a hurricane in New England for a while, it feels like. Yeah, it's really been pretty laid back, you know. So I've seen the news that it's flooding in yes, a lot of rain down in the Caribbean, and the BVIs are getting a lot of rain. You can't really have flooding in the BVIs. Anybody that's been there knows that all those islands are like this. So the water runs off pretty darn quick. There are some low-lying areas that get a little flooding in there, but those islands are really geared and evolved to shed a lot of water. So, but yeah, a lot of raining going on down there, and as is normal, that's this time of year. You know, just like up here in Alaska, this is August now. This is our wet month up here. We get more rain in August typically than we do January, February, March, April, and May combined for amount of moisture on the ground. Of course, January, February, March, and April would be all snow and not rain, but still, it's the same amount of moisture. Let's see. Hello from Tampa Bay. Hey, Bob and Deb. Hello, how you guys doing? How's things in Tampa Bay? I have to think in different languages. Yes, Martin, I understand that. And that's tricky, you know. I've traveled a lot. When I lived in Bahrain, you know, we hung out with a bunch of friends of mine who were from Iran. So we had to speak a little Farsi. We had to speak a little Arabic. And then, of course, English at school. And so, you know, you learn very quickly to pick up other languages. About the only things I remember, though, are the curse words, and I'm not going to repeat them here on the internet, but it's amazing to me how quickly you forget and lose things. I do have a little bit of Spanish, and I'm somewhat, I can talk a little bit of Spanish. I can't understand very much because people talk too fast. But, yeah, it's one of the joys of traveling is experiencing the different cultures. So why do people document their boats? Connie, you document your boat with the Coast Guard as it's just like registering your car at the DMV. Document your boat with the Coast Guard as your registration papers. It's your proof of ownership. And by documenting with the Coast Guard, you avoid having to pay taxes on a state level because you're not registered on any particular state. The problem is you get people like me, I'm going to go buy a boat and live on a boat. I have to document. I can't do a state registration because I'm not going to be a resident of any state any longer. I'm not going to own property anywhere. So I'll basically be homeless except for my boat. So I can't do a state registration. I have to do a Coast Guard documentation instead. I hope that explains that. Did your puppy wonder who you were after? Oh, man, that was hysterical. That I should have filmed that. What in the hell was that? Oh, yeah, Lily was a little freaked out. She really, and she still is a little bit. She's really checking me out a lot, you know, smelling me a lot, coming up and licking my face and wanting to be in my face all the time. Yeah, it really freaked the dog out quite a bit, a lot more than I thought it would. It was pretty funny. Do you have an internist for medical concerns? If any, do I have an internist for medical concerns? No. How does that work in regards to international insurance, medicine, and doctors? I do not have I don't doctor for anything. I don't have any medical conditions that I doctor for. So I do not have a doctor or an internist. And so I don't know how that may affect anything. I can tell you I can get most medical work done outside the United States a lot cheaper and just as good a quality than in the United States. So we'll see. Pumped for you to get on the water. What boat are you sailing to CR to get to RS? That is yet to be worked out. The fellow I'm talking to is boat shopping now, and so we're gonna see what we're gonna be on. We don't know yet. The fella that I'm talking about sailing from Florida to Puerto Rico with, he's in the process of buying a boat now, so we'll see. Maui Lay says translator on the iPhone works good. Yes, it does. Yeah. Google Translate is an excellent tool. And sailing back with another boat gives you a buddy boat to sail back to the States. Always a smart idea. Yeah, Judy, I don't know if the other boat's going to sail back or not, or if he's going to go on to the Caribbean at that point. We'll have to see. Poor Lily. Yeah, she is such an abused dog. Yeah, you like that, Darren? Mr. Clean. I got my Telly Savalas going on. You guys remember Telly Savalas, Kojak? Well, I got my Kojak going on. Or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe that's what I'm going for, that rock look. I don't know. Bruce Willis, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. All the big, sexy guys are bald now, so I guess I'm falling into style. Are you going to be sailing alone most of the time? No. I don't think I'm going to be doing very much sailing alone, but we'll see. Not Darren, it is Darlindar. Oh, that's an LN. I see, Darlindar. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, Darlindar. I thought that was an I. You're right. That's a L. Okay. Who loves you, baby? There you go, Steve. Who loves you, baby? There's Telly Savalas. I need a sucker. No, Sorrento. Not going for the city slicker look. Going for the tropics look. All that hair is a little warm when it's in bright sunshine and 90 degrees every day. How long do you think it'll take to sail from Florida to Puerto Rico? Probably 10 days, Chris. It depends on how many stops we make along the way in Bahamas. So it should be 10 days. It might be longer. Get a lollipop like Kojak. And yes, I won't be alone ever because I'll always have Lily with me. But no, seriously, I do plan on having crew on board. I've invited Megan from Sailing Doodles to sail with me from Puerto Rico back to Florida. Depending on what our schedule looks like will affect that. She may or may not. Right now, it looks like she's going to be doing a road trip on the East Coast. So that may or may not happen. We don't have any confirmation one way or the other right now. But Megan is establishing. In fact, guys, Megan now has her own YouTube channel. You might get on there and subscribe. It's just Megan Binkley on YouTube. And she's going to be starting to do her own stuff, which I've always supported and told her she should be doing a long time ago. So I hope she does. Curly, one of the Three Stooges. There you go. Yeah, it takes a bit of time to get accustomed to it. I mean, I'm looking at myself in the camera here, and I got to admit, I look kind of weird. I really look kind of weird. So, how does it work for Lily and her shots to get in other countries? Darren Dar, she will have all of her shots before we leave Alaska, so she'll be good to go. The only real shot anybody's worried about is rabies. She's got her regular, puppy shots and all that, the distemper, hepatitis, leptospirosis, and all that kind of stuff. It's the rabies that seems to be a real issue, and we'll be getting that just as we leave Alaska. We'll get that done. There you go. She agrees. Do you know when the next live chat with Sailing Doodles is? Did Amanda make it too social? I do not know when Bob's next live stream is. I think it's going to be fairly soon. I know he went down and looked at the boat in California. I've not heard any background from that, except that the guy who's selling him the boat also has other people looking at it who may or may not be asking him to do any financing. So I don't think Bob's has any confirmation on that end yet. So I don't know when his next live chat is. You look good. Well, thank you, Farts and Glory. I appreciate that. What's bad is knowing who tells you so the house is was. No, Darling Dar, I'm sorry. It's going to take me a minute to get accustomed to that, Darling Dar. I will get there. What camera gear do you have, or will you be getting for the boat? Bunch of camera gear. A bunch of camera gear. I have got Canon D70 with a series of lenses. I'll be getting a dive housing for that. I've ordered a Sony RX100 and a dive housing for that. I've got a JVC Handycam in a dive housing as well. I've got a DJI Phantom 4 drone. And I've got GoPro 4s and 5s, both in the regular camera and in the sessions. So, going to be fairly well stocked up with camera and camera gear. Do you have to show Lily's papers for entering it? Yes, Lily's will have to have those papers. So, I missed some chats there. Bob just posted on Facebook doing a live show tonight. Excellent. There you go. So, there's your answer. Ever seen the show Alaska State Troopers? Sounds like you go past your area a lot. Yes, they do. Alaska State Troopers goes through here a lot, and just sort of a bad situation. They actually stopped producing that show. But yeah, we have some neighborhoods up here in Alaska that seem like they get a lot of crime. Alaska is a weird place because we get a lot of people who are disgruntled with living in the lower 48, and so they move up here to Alaska, and so we end up with a pretty high number of weird people up here. So, oh, I'm missing stuff. Let me back up. What are you planning on cruising? Kezia, welcome. Mostly I'm going to be cruising the Bahamas to start with, and then over to the Mediterranean. Oh, watch it at 12 Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, good. Hey, Pictrick1, how you doing? Hey, last nice guy. Yeah, you like the change? A little different, huh? Got to invest in an underwater drone. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have the funds for that right now, but we shall see. Yeah. So I guess Bob's going to be doing a show at 3 o'clock today Eastern time. He'll be doing a live stream, and then you'll get a better update of what's going on with him and Amanda. Can you explain what you will have for medical insurance while out of the country? I will not have international medical insurance. So, Darling Dar, see, I got it right this time. Got to go. Just stop by to say, hey, Grandpa. Glad to see you. We will talk to you later, Darling Dar. And I'm sorry about the pronunciation. I will work on that and get it better, Darling Dar. See, if I keep saying it enough times, I'll remember it. I sail with my yellow lab and has alerted me twice at anchorages to would-be thieves. Yes, dogs do have a good sense for letting you know about stuff. Although FedEx came up to the house the other day and Lily didn't even know they were here till the guy knocked on the door. Scared the hell out of her, actually. So, high number of weird people. Yeah, Alaska does seem to attract a disproportionate number of people who were disgruntled with things in the lower 48, and so they escaped to Alaska to get away from whatever, and then they bring all their drama up here. Judy, Lily is not chipped, but she will be getting chipped this month when we go to the vet. Where she's going into the vet. Poor dog. She's going to get chipped, get all of her shots updated, her rabies shot, and get a health certificate and get spayed all in the same day. So Lily's got a really big day coming up, but she doesn't know that yet. She's going to be sore, but we're going to get that done, and then she'll have a few days here to rest and recoup. And then, of course, we'll be in the car for a week. She'll be stuck on the front seat of a car, and that'll be a good opportunity for her to recover and get healthy again. So we'll see how that all works out. So, but yeah, she's going to have a really big date at the vet. So, is Lily chipped with contact info for you and family? If so, or not to update? Yeah. The problem with the chip is that I'm not going to have an address. and my phone number is going to change. So it's going to be tough to have the chip, except that it proves that I'm the owner, and that's the only thing we're going to be able to do. And it'll be referenced on her registration and medical papers. So she'll be mad about you. Yeah, she'll be upset. Have to save the pup and take a pic with her. Well, we'll have lots of pics. In fact, I'm working on a dog video right now. We had her with her harness on outside last week, shooting some footage of her running around. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work, and hopefully today I'll be able to get her out because the weather's a little bit nicer today. I'll be able to get her out and shoot some more footage. But how long did it take to get rid of the hair? 10 minutes, I guess. You know, took the electric razor and just shaved it all off. So, didn't take very long. Are you still researching barbecues for the rough seas? Yes, I'm still going to. I'm not going to know what barbecue I get until I'm actually on the boat. I have been looking online at some different stuff, but you know, I want to get and touch them and feel them myself before I make that decision. So, and I can't do that from up here in Alaska. So when I get to Florida with the boat, then I'll make the decision. Or maybe in Puerto Rico. There's a couple suppliers in Puerto Rico that might work. So that's the idea is still out with the grills. So make sure you lift and lower her out of the truck as she recovers. Yeah, she'll be fine. She's gonna have enough days to heal up before we get in the truck, Judy. So she won't have a problem. It's funny you see you stroke your beard. Yeah, right. Bad habit. Bad habit. Will Miss Lily wear a harness? Yes. This is Miss Lily's harness right here. It's got flotation. It's got a nice handle on it, so I can yank her back up out of the water. So yes, she will have a harness on while she's on deck. Now down below, she won't need it, but while she's up on deck. So you look like Wimpy's Burger or Popeye. Hey, Grizz, I was thinking more like Telly Savalas. You know, you're old enough to appreciate that. But, okay, I guess I'm the burger boy, huh? Okay. Contact info in chip, email address. Yes. Yeah, email address, that kind of stuff will be on there. So, and I may use my son's address with her, just so I can keep track of that. All right, guys, I got an itch on my back. Has Lily ever even swam up in Alaska? Yes, Miss Lily goes to we take her over to the water. See, every time I mention her name, she wants to come over here and visit me. Come here. Come on. Oh, there she is. Hi there. Hi there. Can you say hello to the folks? Can you say hello to the folks? Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Yeah, she'll be fine. And yes, she does swim up here in Alaska. She's a Labrador, guys. She's, you know, they're bred for duck hunting. That's what I've always had Labradors for, is for duck hunting. So she's kind of accustomed to that. Can't watch it work, but you look great. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. Thought your channel had been hijacked. Didn't recognize you. Sorry, Morgan. Yep, still me, still here. Just getting ready for the tropics is all, so looking a little different. Keith, looks like yours, huh? Okay. Hey, all of us sexy guys have lost our hair, you know? Lily needs her own channel. Okay, well, when Lily learns to edit the video, she can have her own channel, but hard enough keeping up with one channel, let alone two. You don't need up here anymore. You don't. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down, Kennel. Good girl. There we go. Sit. Sit. Good dog. Good dog. Hi, Grandpa. You're almost as good-looking as good-looking Pete now. Okay, I don't know who good-looking Pete is, but okay. I'm glad you guys approve. Yeah, I think I look younger but fatter. My beard kind of covered up all the fat in the chin, which I can see now. But that's all right. That's all leaving here fairly soon anyway. So all that fat's going to go have a home of its own someplace else other than on my body. One of the things I'm really jazzed about and excited about is getting on the boat and start swimming and fishing and scuba diving and all that stuff, man. It's gonna be awesome. Gonna be absolutely friggin' awesome. So, Lily, you keep knocking into the table. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. I'm gonna close the door in there so you can stay in there. Go take a nap. Here, let me get her a biscuit. Keep her occupied here for a minute. She loves her Kirkland dog bones. In fact, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to keep a supply of them on the boat for her. I'm going to have to buy some plastic tote or something and put a big supply of them on board so she's got dog biscuits with her. You look younger, though. Yeah, losing all the gray does make me look younger, I think. So, greetings from Oneonta, New York. Donald from upstate. There you go. I'm not really sure where Oneonta is. I don't remember. Is that east or western part of upstate? I grew up in New York. I was born and raised on Long Island, so I know New York fairly well, but I don't remember exactly where Oneonta is. Eating healthy from the sea and swimming will, yes, the weight will drop off. Absolutely, whole shot. Absolutely. Swimming is the best exercise for a big guy. You know, 9mm, it really is, James, because one of the problems I have with exercising on the land is I got kicked off a horse, I got bucked off a horse and kicked and stomped on, and it hurt the lower part of my back. So it's very difficult for me to walk because my back's kind of grinding. But if I'm in the water swimming, I no longer have gravity to work against. So I can swim like a fish, man. I swim no problem. But walking around, it does hurt the lower back. So there will be days that the provisioning didn't work out well. Probably, Martin, and that's fine. Won't hurt me to miss a meal from time to time. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a fish burger today. There you go, Judy. Do you have 2 sets of scuba gear or just one? Johnny Hag, I only have 1 set of scuba gear, 1 set of free dive gear, and I don't know, like 40 sets of snorkel gear. No, seriously, I've got 4 or 5 sets of snorkel gear. In between Binghamton and Albany. Okay, so you're just almost straight central upstate New York then. You're not east or west. Okay. You look like Vin Diesel. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. Vin Diesel's kind of a sexy, good-looking guy, I guess. What a makeover. Look great. Well, thanks, Dick. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's taking a little getting accustomed to. Down here working on my RV, just got the ping of your stream, fired up the laptop, and my version hotspot. Now I'm here. Well, great, Keith. Welcome. I'm glad you're there. How's the RV coming together, man? So now you have an RV, so you get to fix an RV in exotic locations, huh? Campgrounds and stuff. You know, I've thought about RVing. You know, sailing, buying a sailboat and sailing around the world is very much like buying an RV and driving around the world. Well, driving around the country. It's just the sailboat allows me to go further and go different places, get off the United States and travel all around the world as opposed to just in the United States, where the RVs are kind of limited. And I find that sailing is you know, I'm not wearing out tires and brakes. Because sailboats don't have tires and brakes. So, I don't know. But very similar lifestyle, I think, though. Is the fishing gear packing coming? Interested in what you'll be using to catch dinner? Yes, whole shot. I will be producing that this week. I'm actually waiting on one bit of kit. My pole spear is on order and actually should be here today. So, and I wanted to have that here when I did the video. So, hopefully that'll get here today. And if the weather's nice tomorrow, I'll pull all the fishing gear and traps and stuff out and be able to do that. My crab traps are in storage in Montana, so I won't have them for the video, but I can show you a picture of what they look like. I do have my shrimp traps and the rest of my fishing gear up here. I have a lot of fishing gear. I mean, you know, I've got boat rods, spinning rods, casting rods, fly fishing rods, and the fly fishing, I've got saltwater weight, 6-weight, and 3-weight rods. I do a lot of fly fishing. I really enjoy that. So and doing some research actually on a deep drop setup as well. So I may invest in a deep drop setup for which is a whole different fishing situation. So, but that should be coming up here very soon. So we'll see. Bulk Nation. I don't know. Great place to stock up on supplies. Bulk Nation. Okay. I don't know if they have any of them anywhere near where I'm going to be, but okay. Sails and rigging will also wear out. Yeah, Martin, actually the head sail on the CNC right now needs some repairs. So I'm going to be doing some work on that. I've got a sailrite sewing machine so I can fix it. But yeah, the sails are probably something that I'm going to be looking at replacing. Although really the CNC, I'm only planning on being on this boat for, maybe a year or two. The lady buying my property here has a 24-month balloon payment she has to make to me. And so if she does that, then yes, I'll be upgrading to a better boat. So who's Vin Diesel? Vin Diesel's an actor, Judy. Maui-Lei, pole spear, yeah, so Hawaiian sling. You're right, Maui-Lei. I should clarify. My Maui is correct. I'm buying a Hawaiian sling, which is in essence a pole spear. It's basically the same thing. Did Bob leave the dinghy for you? Yes, Bob did leave the dinghy for me. And Lily will need brakes. Yeah, whole shot. I'm gonna train Lily to go to the bathroom up on the foredeck. I don't want her to have to wait for whenever it's convenient for me to take her ashore. And I don't want to have to run to shore every time she needs it. And frankly, when we're underway, there isn't going to be any shore to go to. So she's going to learn to go up on the foredeck, and that's easy enough. The technique's pretty simple. We buy a small mat of AstroTurf. She can go on that, and then I can just flip it over to the side and let it rinse out in the ocean. And when she has to go, I can flip it back up on the deck and she can go on the grass. So, pretty easy to do. Wow, you're building the RV from scratch. That's pretty cool. That'd be a lot of work, though. Wow. Just they're now quiet wind generators. Yeah, maybe. I've seen some of these quiet wind generators. They're still pretty noisy. But we'll see. I may still add one to the back of the boat. The jury is not out on that yet. So we will see. I just want to make sure if I do buy one that I can put on the back of the boat, that I have the ability of locking the blade and turning it off, basically, so that I can have some quiet time. So we'll see. Every time I try fly fishing, I crash my drone in the lake. Dang, fish keep pulling it in. Okay, well, yeah. You're weird, Grizz. Just weird, son. Hey, Super Antonio ASMR, how you doing? Looking forward to your fishing videos. That's a valuable skill for me to learn. Yeah, it really is. Fishing is critical. I'm really bummed at how many people out there are out sailing and don't have a clue how to fish. So it's going to be interesting to see some of the differences between the way I fish and the way they do. Keep in mind, I'm only fishing for food, for myself. And so I don't need a whole bunch of fish. Catching one a day will be perfect for me. So it'll be interesting to see. And of course, fly fishing is something completely different from a lot of people. It's something that I really like. I enjoy the poetry of it. And if you've not ever fly fished, you won't understand that. But fly fishing is almost more art form than anything else. So I've really enjoyed that. I may have missed it, but is Megan sailing with? Donald, I don't know yet. Right now, Megan has announced plans for a road trip for herself up and down the East Coast of the United States. But I don't know if she's going to do that after she goes with me from Puerto Rico to Florida, or if she's going to do that in lieu of. I haven't gotten any confirmation on that yet, so we do not know. What happens when Lily wants to peel out after pooping? Yeah, Maui-Lei, good point. A lot of labs do that. They'll go to the bathroom and then have a burst of energy and do what I call the boot, scoot, and boogie, where they'll just drop their butt kind of run around real weird. She'll have to reserve those times for when she's on the beach, I guess. So, or Lily can potty in the shower, number one, and two. Yeah, I actually have a, where are they? Over there. I have a supply of pee pads, which I'll keep on the boat. And yes, I have no problem with Lily going into the bathroom and using and peeing on a pee pad. So I will keep a supply of those on the boat, although I kind of dislike them because they have a lot of plastic with them. Trying to find a variety that doesn't have any plastic, but then of course it wouldn't be waterproof. So it's a problem. Do you tie your own flies? I do tie my own flies. I also buy flies. Right now, my fly tying gear got ruined. FedEx guy just pulled in and is now pulling out. That's weird. Okay. Huh. Very odd. Anyhow, so much for all the stuff I was going to get delivered today. In any event, I do tie some of my flies, but a bunch of my fly tying stuff got damaged up here last winter when there wasn't anybody here. And so I got to kind of rebuild up my fly tying supplies. But yes, I do tie some of my own flies. One fish a day, Grandpa, thermometer, mercury. What do you mean? Oh, you're worried about eating one fish a day and having mercury? I'm not worrying about it. You know, yes, fish have mercury. Some of them have mercury. Some of them have mercury in high concentrations. Unfortunately, guys, today, no matter what you eat or where you live or what you get, there's going to be something wrong with the meat. You know, some of the beef that you buy today has got some really nasty stuff in it, and it's just the nature of it. So, guys, the guy's back here at the door. Give me 1 second, if you would. I'm just going to set you like that. You can watch TV for a second. I will be right back. I'm sorry to do this during a live stream, but okay. I guess we have a bit of an unpacking video to do. Got a big box just got delivered. No. Guess I'll do an unpacking video through my live stream. Bunch of stuff that I ordered through Amazon. What'd we get? Hey, we got a bunch of packing stuff. Ah, okay. Got some rod repair pieces. Bunch of new rod tips, all stainless steel. Some fishing line. Those of you interested in fishing. Big spool of 60-pound trilene. I am not sponsored by Trilene, but they do make really good fishing line. And we've got GoPro mounts for the side of my swim mask, and I have no idea what that is. Looks like a little scuba tank. Oh, this is O-ring kit for my scuba tanks. There's O-rings in here for fitting on my scuba tanks. And this is a weight belt for my scuba gear that I wanted. Oh, okay. This is a whole big collection of floats and mounts and parts for the GoPro. So I can mount the GoPro on a whole bunch of different spots. And another big box. A big box inside of a big box. Sorry if I'm missing the chat. Give me a second and I will get caught. Oh, okay. This is the DVD holder. This is a bag that'll hold all of my DVDs, books on tape, and all that. It's supposed to hold 400 discs, which is not all of them, but it'll concentrate my library down. Yeah, yes, I could burn them onto a CD-ROM or something, which is probably what I should do, but instead we're going to just put them into that little case so I have them all there. So sorry about that. Guys, if I missed your question, please ask it again. Why did not Lily bark when the delivery came? Good question, Donald. For some reason, she doesn't hear the FedEx truck because the FedEx guy came yesterday and she didn't even hear it. So I don't know why. Grandpa's sponsored by Amazon. Hey, with the amount of money I spend with Amazon, I really should be sponsored by them. Especially right now because I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff in. Packing bags. There you go. I hadn't thought about that. You know what these look like? They look like, you remember when you were a kid and you had the little floaties around your arm? Maybe I should get my Cellrite sewing machine out and turn these into a grandpa-sized floaty. Oh, that'd be too much fun. Too much fun. Christmas at Papa's house. Yeah, I love unpacking stuff. It's always fun. Let's see. Donald, since he's in Alaska, I presume his cabin is well insulated. Maybe the dog did bark and we can't hear it. No, because she's right there, literally 20 inches away from the computer screen right now. You would have heard it if she had barked, but she just didn't bark. Maybe she likes the FedEx guy and just doesn't bark at him. She barks at, I mean, even if a big truck just drives down the road in front of my place, she usually barks. So, ooh, O-rings. Lots of O-rings. This is that little scuba tank thing. And what it's full of is little replacement O-rings for the scuba tanks. This is one thing with the scuba tanks that goes out quite a bit. And it's kind of handy. It's got a little hook on the end. I don't know if you can see that hook on the end. I don't know if it can focus that closely. Got a lot of hook on the end for replacing the O-rings. There, I got all the O-rings on the hook. And that stores in this little container. So that's really neat. That's going to come in real handy for me while I'm out traveling. Because my scuba tanks, for some reason, that O-ring seems to be one thing that we go through quite a lot of. So now I have them in this own little scuba tank doohickey. Isn't that cute? We'll see how well that works. What else we got in it? It's a Barbara in there. It's a Barbara in there? What's that mean? Do you like the fishing tips that swivel? Yes, I do like the fishing tips that swivel. Absolutely. I much prefer them on saltwater rods for heavyweight lines. You know, this is, when you're talking about 60-pound test monofilament, you know, this is a pretty thick, heavy line. So, yes, I really like the swivels when I'm dealing with that kind of weight, because that way if my rod gets a little kilter, I'm not running that line over the exact same spot in the rod tip. So, for my heavy lines, I do like a swiveling tip, not so much on my light spinning rods. And I've got a couple spinning rods that needed some replacements, although looking at this package that just got here today, these are all pretty small tips. They may, in fact, be too small for my rod. These are better, but they're not stainless steel. These little Fuji ones. Made in China. Oh, I hate buying stuff from China, but nobody in America wants to make anything anymore, so we get stuff from China. So, need very large ones. Yes, I need large ones. Amazon Prime is an addiction. It can be. It can be. Hey, you know, but up here where I live in Alaska, guys, I mean, to give you an idea how remote I am, it's 100 miles to the nearest Costco. And that's one direction, so 200-mile round trip. It is 120-mile round trip to the nearest Walmart. So if I can order stuff online and then not have to spend the fuel to drive and the time to drive all the way down there and back to get it, Amazon's got free delivery, even up here for me in Alaska. So I can order something like, you know, a $3.96 item, and instead of having to put $20 worth of gas in my car to go get this $3.96 order, I can just be patient and order it through Amazon and have it delivered a week later, and save the money. So I like it. I mean, Amazon's a huge resource for me up here. Lily knows how happy you get when FedEx man comes. Yeah, maybe. Floaties when you jump naked off the pizza boat. There you go. Hey, and just to clarify, guys, the title of this video was that I was getting naked in preparation for sailing. It wasn't clickbait, guys. My head and chin are now naked. Most of the other sailing channels make the mistake of only using one lure at a time. Yes, they certainly do. And that's something I'll talk more about in detail on my fishing video. You really have to create a more natural presentation and give the appearance of a school of bait fish following your boat. Then you'll attract the fish. There's a line between how much energy a fish is going to put into going after a bait fish in relation to how much protein it'll gain from that effort. You know, if you're a tuna swimming around in the ocean, you can't expend more energy to get food than what the food provides. It would be a zero-sum gain or a negative-sum gain for them. So it's kind of critical that you create a school of fish behind your boat, and it'll substantially increase your success ratio. I'm getting dry here. Coffee's making my throat dry. I've always done a lot of swimming. Now I'm going to learn how to scuba, but I think I'm limited to learning in a pool. Donald, that's how you start scuba diving. They start out in a controlled environment in a swimming pool. Get your base, you know, how to figure out how to be comfortable breathing underwater is best done in a swimming pool. Absolutely. No problem with that. That's the way to start. Learn to get accustomed to having the regulator in your mouth and breathing through it. You know, you get that Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. You get that kind of sound out of your mask. Get accustomed to that. Get accustomed to managing your air bubbles, taking your mask off and on, and being able to get the water out of your mask. Learning to switch from regulator to snorkel. Getting your buoyancy down so you can learn to control the air in your BCD, which is your buoyancy compensator. Learning to manage that so you can get your buoyancy. Buoyancy in the water is a key skill that has to be learned. It's probably the most important thing to give you the opportunity to swim without crashing. If you're overweighted and you try to be still, like when I'm filming something, you're going to sink if you're too heavy, or you're going to float up if you've got too much air in. Learning to have that perfect balance is critical. So definitely want to learn in a swimming pool in a controlled environment and learn those skills. Then you can go to the ocean and see the pretty fishes and learn how to deal with depth. Another thing, there's a very logical process in learning how to scuba dive. Go ahead and follow that process. Don't be afraid of that, Donald. Get in the pool and learn the basics first before you get in the salt water. Hey, Grandpa, perfect time for live sending for Europe. Well, Mike, that's exactly why I'm doing it at this time. I set it up to start doing one midweek this time of day so the people on the other side of the planet can participate and get involved. So I appreciate you being okay with that. I see a sunburned dome in your future. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of this out on the water, guys, I can assure you. And even then, I've gotten sunburned through this little hole before, so probably keep a lot of SPF 50 on the head. So yeah, we'll see. Should be getting almost naked. Yeah, well, this is as naked as you're going to want to see, Grandpa. I can assure you of that. You won't want to see me any more naked than that. What is it you do to not get the bends? Darren, it's very simple. Follow your bubbles, okay? Now, there's a lot of new technology and ascend rates and all this other stuff, and basic rule of thumb is follow your bubbles. If you exhale out, which of course you're going to do, you're going to have bubbles go up. Let your bubbles go to the surface faster than you go to the surface. Don't ever pass your bubbles going to the surface, because if you're passing your bubbles, the bubbles that are inside of your blood are also going to expand at the same rate. When you're scuba diving and you exhale a bubble, that bubble may be this big at the depth that you're at, but when it gets to the surface, it could be this big because of the difference in pressure. That same thing happens to the nitrogen and the oxygen that's in your blood. As you're going up, those are expanding because of reduced pressure. You got to go up slow enough to keep them, to give them the ability to be able to dissolve and break up, so you don't end up with an embolism or the bends. So don't follow your bubbles is the rule of thumb. And then I also like to stop at about 20 meters or 20 feet below the surface and just take a safety break there. Just hang out for a few minutes and let me get some of the excess nitrogen offloaded before I go to the surface. So, have you ever used the newer braided fishing lines? Yeah, I use them all the time. Just depends on the application. I use a lot of braided lines with my fly fishing for my backing, and I also use them for some of my lighter spinning rods where I want to get a lot of volume on the reel. Still have a beard, I can see, hence I said almost. Oh, I got a lot of peach fuzz and I got a mustache still. Yeah, I didn't shave. I just took the electric razor and took it off, so it left a little stubble. Learn to use dive tables and or dive computer to avoid the bends. Well, yes, of course. And I use my dive tables all the time. And what you're referring to is avoiding the bends for the second dive. I'm talking about avoiding the bends on the first dive, because you can get the bends on your very first dive if you're not careful. Thanks, Carl, for the scuba info. You're a font of it. No problem. No problem. You know, and best ever, I had another comment in regards to that. I dive systematically to avoid getting the bends. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. When you go out on a commercial dive boat, you'll put on a tank, you go out, you dive, you come back up. You can switch your BCD immediately over to another tank and get right back in the water in 5 minutes. Wrong. That's what you don't want to do. The way I'm setting myself up so that I know I won't get the bends, when I come out of the water, I'm going to take my tank off, put it on my compressor, turn my compressor on. It takes 20 minutes to refill that tank. In that time, I'm offloading the nitrogen. I'm usually going to be diving with somebody, so I'll have to fill my tank and their tank. That gives me at least 40 minutes of surface time to offload nitrogen before I jump back in the water again. That's sufficient breakup on the surface is enough for me to off nitro, so that when I jump back in the water, it's like going on my first dive again. So it's a matter of, for me, of setting it up systematically to avoid that problem. The bends you get from being too deep too long, then you need to do a timed descent with stops. Yes, Jeff, but that timed ascent is simple, old school. The way I learned when I was a kid and I was taught by U.S. Navy SEAL is we follow our bubbles. And that seems to be the basic rule of thumb. They've gotten a bit more critical about that now, and they're trying to set all kinds of limits. You know, it's different for every person, a little bit, if you really want to get down to it. So that's the technique I use, is I just set up my system for the way I dive to avoid having a problem down the road. Darren, no problem. Best explanation I've heard on the bends. Okay, well, can you send me your email? Guys, my email is really simple. It's alaskacarl@gmail.com. I'll put it right out there. There you go. There's my email. And Maui-Lei, I saw your request on my phone. I just hadn't gotten the chance to do that yet because we're still in the middle of a live stream. But there you go. Looking at that shelf behind you, unless most goes with the house, you have a lot to do to get ready. Oh man, what's on these shelves behind me is some of the last things I'm going to be doing, because I'm still working as a real estate broker, and there's a lot of my office stuff. Over here, you see these are my reference books and guidebooks. I'll probably pack them up this week. But yeah, these shelves are like the last thing that's going to get done. A lot of the other stuff is already done. And I mean, like 90% of the stuff I had to get done. I can pack that up in a day. Not even a couple hours. That's easy stuff. Yes, take time between dives to gas off. Absolutely. Why the heck, Grandpa, was your head blinding everybody? Yes, 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 yes. All right, I'll take it back off. There you go. Now you can see my sexy head. While you're doing that, I'm going to play with some of my new toys that just came in. This is a bag of, oh, it's got a Ziploc. This is a bag of GoPro supplies. Man, there's a lot in here. Little floaty handle for handling my GoPro. Oop, my stream is way behind. There we go. All kinds of mounts. Oh, this is cool. This is to mount my cell phone to the end of a what do they call them? Selfie stick. Floaties. Oh, that's cool. It's got a little suction cup for mounting to a window. See, guys, this is some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't see with the YouTube channel. We got to buy all this stupid crap, all these little mounts for GoPros, so we can mount cameras all over the place. I guess that's a little wrist strap for a camera mount. Another, I don't know what that is. I guess that's another dog harness? Huh. I guess that's another dog harness mount. Another camera mount for Miss Lily. Cool. Little clip. Little head mount. Little bag full of stuff. Little selfie pole and a little tripod. See, this is the stuff you don't see behind the scenes when you're doing a YouTube channel, is you need to have all this crap. And guys, this isn't a drop in the bucket compared to all the tripods and selfie sticks and body mounts, and I guess I got a little case to put some stuff in. All that stuff is not going to fit in this little case. You know, when they advertised this on Amazon, this case looked like it was really big, like it was big enough to hold everything. That's not going to hold everything. I hate when they misdo stuff like that. Detailed info, are you planning to dive that deep? Whole shot, no. I'm not planning on diving that deep. You know what? 90% of the stuff that I want to see in the water is in the top 100 feet of the water column. Because that's where all the pretty stuff is. So, okay guys, this bag is full of a bunch of weird stuff. All the little clips and mounts and all that kind of little stuff. And now I'm dropping it on the floor. Whole bunch of little stuff. So yeah, you know, when you're doing these YouTube channels, you need to have all this stuff. No, you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to use that for. I'm going to use this clip, put a string on this, and use it to clip the controller for my my drone to it. The drone has a little place for the clip, so you can put it on your neck so you can't drop the thing. So that's what's going to happen there. That's a good thing to do. This is sort of neat. I was kind of interested to see how this was going to work out. This goes on my mask strap and goes to the side of my head so I can mount a GoPro off to the side of my scuba diving mask. So that's an interesting little piece. I'll see how well that works. So, let's see. Could be a chest mount. Camera on chest, yes. Use suction cup mount. Just put the suction cup right. I'd have to shave a little bit better than that. But yes, John, that would work. Yeah, I think this one thing is a head mount. I already have a head mount, though. This is a head mount. And that puts the camera right there. But I already have one of these. I have one of these set up right now. But, Yeah, I've got a different head mount here. This is for my, this is set up with this little frame. See the little frame out there? This goes with my Hero Session camera. These are actually one of my favorite cameras, guys, to be honest with you. This is one of my favorite cameras. This is the little GoPro Hero Session. This tiny little camera is just awesome. And it mounts into this cage. Goes like that into this cage. And then I've got the Hero Session mounted on my head. And actually, I do a lot of filming. When you see first-person filming where you're getting my view of stuff, this is the camera that I'm filming with. So it's very lightweight, so you don't have the big heavy, the GoPro's not really heavy, but it's still pretty heavy compared to the Session. So I really like this camera. It's also waterproof, so I can use it for snorkeling. It can't go very deep without a housing, though. It can only go to like 30 feet. So I'll just use it for like snorkeling and stuff up on the surface. So this is my second selfie stick. These are pretty interesting. I don't do much selfie stuff. I mean, to me, it's not about me. It's about the stuff that I'm trying to demonstrate. And it's got this little goofy tripod thing here. Wow, that's really small. I don't think that would hold a GoPro. Maybe a little Session, but that's really a little lightweight tripod. That's tiny. Could use as a handle, I guess. And it's got a floaty handle, which is a good thing to have on your GoPro when you're out in the water. Looking very... Call it a dome cam. There you go. You look very aerodynamic. Yeah, yeah. Low drag. No mixed gases when diving. I do not dive mixed gas, especially out on the boat. I just don't have the ability of transporting the O2 in cylinders to do a nitrox mix. So I just straight air. Keep it simple. We're talking about that piece you said could be a second bogey mount for the dog. That's what we said could be. Oh, could be a chest mount for me. Yeah. No. No, that would have to go around my chest. I mean, maybe this is a chest mount for a child, but man, if they sold this as a chest mount, that'd have to be an awful skinny person. I mean, even if I were to open this thing up all the way, maybe for a child. Yeah, I guess that might fit around a small person, but it certainly isn't going to fit around me. But what I could do is I could add this weight belt mechanism inside that, but that ain't going to fit around my belly. And that's probably what that is. That's probably a chest mount for a person, but I could shrink it down and make it be a back mount for the dog. I've got one specifically designed for the dog. It's got a back mount and then a chest mount for her. So, well, that was fun. A lot of cool stuff to play with for me today. Doggy mount. Yeah, yeah. Well, Lily's I've got a really good mount for her. Does a small camera have audio? Yes, Last Nice Guy. Actually, the audio out of it is very good. It's particularly good when you're in front of it. But I've found that I can... Where'd it go? There it is. I have found that even when I'm behind it, even though I have it up on my forehead like this, it picks up really well. Microphone is right there on the front of the screen, right in that corner. The only thing I dislike about this I like using it for covert stuff, but it's got a little, here, I'll turn it on, you see what I mean. It's got a little light that blinks on the front. See that little light blinking right there? So, but what I can do is I can put a little piece of tape over that, and that'll cover it up. And what's really cool about the GoPros is I can set these up so I can look on my cell phone and I can control the GoPro and see what it's looking at through my cell phone, which gives me some nice remote capabilities. So, Keith, you having problems with typing, dude? It's all good, man. Lilycam, that's right, Lilycam. That's a chest mount. It's what I use. Ramble on, you use that as a chest mount. Okay, it would not fit me. It might fit Sasha on Rick Moore's boat. Yes, it would fit a small child or a not very busty woman. So you should get a camera stabilizer. A lot of my cameras are stabilized, but yeah, I've thought about a gimbal, but they're very expensive, Sorrenti. And I just can't justify one of those right now. Maybe after the lady, you know, pays off the property here, I might buy one, but not right now. My daughter and I will be watching you sail from Toledo. All right, go Toledo, go Bucks. So good luck and safe sailing. Well, thanks, John Harris. I appreciate that. I'm going to be coming through Ohio next month, John. I'm going to go. My sons live in Lancaster, so I'll be in Lancaster, Ohio, sometime within about a month from now or so. Hey, Grandpa, just seen Facebook that Bob is shaving his head live on YouTube in an hour. He's going to shave his head live on YouTube in an hour. What a copycat. I should have done mine live, huh? When you guys love to see me doing my grooming, always I have 20 fingers. Hey, Keith, man, try typing with hands this big. Every time, I mean, my fingers are like twice the size of the keys. On my computer, it's not too bad. But on my cell phone, I literally, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Messages. Let me see, talk to someone. Here. Look how small those buttons are compared to my fingers. You see that? I hit one button and I end up hitting 4 letters at the same time. My fingers are way too big for this nonsense. Okay. What model GoPro are you showing? This is a GoPro Hero Session 4. I also have the GoPro regular GoPro Hero 4. This is the Session 4. And I have on order a 5 session and a regular 5. So I'll have both 4s and 5s in the standard GoPro and in the session. So, Keith Butler, it might fit the other Ukrainian girl, Sasha's friend Dasha. I volunteer to spend whatever time it takes to put it on. You guys are bad. You guys are bad. Marmalade, no, I have not. They're nice, nice. Hello, I snuck in. Hey, Marie, how you doing, darling? It might fit the other Ukrainian girl. Yes, yes, yes. See the voice command, Papa. Yeah, I know they have voice commands on the 5s. That's going to be something new I'm going to have to figure out. Their new reviews are mixed. You like that, Marie, huh? You like that? I think I look younger, but I think I look fatter now. But that's all right. Fat I can change. We use downriggers here on Lake of the Woods. 8-pound, 12-pound, 16-pound cannonballs with releases. Yes, I do have some downriggers, guys. I'm going to probably rig those up on the back of my sailboat. How's that for weird, huh? Release goes straight down to what depth you want. Yep, 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 yep. Bradbo, I have had a lot of experience with downriggers, especially sailing around Seattle and that area, and I will be applying the use of downriggers on a sailboat. How's that for weird, huh? But yes, I will. Hope I'm not going to offend anyone, Grandpa, but if you have hands and fingers that big, I just... Hey, you know, Keith, there's some foolish ladies in the world. What can I tell you, you know? They say, you know, this is related to something else, and we'll just leave it laid right there, shall we? Dasha, dasha, dasha. Okay? Is the session waterproof? Yeah, James, the session is waterproof only down to about 30 feet, though. If I want to use it for scuba diving, I need to get a housing for it and I'm kind of researching those housings right now to get a housing for it. I'm probably going to get a housing for the new Session 5 and for the regular GoPro 5, so I can take them into deeper water because they shoot in 4K, whereas these older ones, they only shoot in 1080p. So for my underwater footage, I really want to get into doing some 4K work. That's why I'm buying the Sony RX100, is because it shoots in 4K. So sets hook and releases, grab your rod and reel, then fish in. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with how they work. They use, in fact, I had it here for another live stream we did not that long ago. I showed them. I'll demonstrate them again when I do my video this coming week on the packing of my fishing gear and show you all the gear I'm packing. A lot of gear. I mean, like, I bet you I have 300 to 400 pounds of fishing gear I'm taking with me. So, and if you know how lightweight fishing rods and reels are, so that's, I mean, that's a lot of gear. So, did I hear you say Megan was going to sail back with you? Last night, Sky, I do not know the answer to that. I have invited Megan to help me sail the boat from Puerto Rico to Florida. I do not know if she's going to do that yet. I cannot confirm that, but that's kind of what I'm hoping. Grandpa's blushing. Oh, no, not really. Great fun allows you to drink beer between hits. Yeah, I like down rigging. One of the things that's sort of interesting is I'm looking at putting together a deep drop setup. And I'm doing that specifically to target one particular fish. I want to put together a deep drop setup for swordfish. Swordfish steaks are some of the finest eating you're going to find out on the ocean, but swordfish tend to live really deep in the ocean. So I'm trying to set up a deep drop setup, which is a very high volume reel on a heavy duty rod with an electric motor that mounts to the side of the reel, because you're laying out sometimes 1,000 yards worth of line on a very heavy weighted line with lights on it as attractors with a bait that you're going to drop down to, you know, 1,000, 1,500 feet. But because of the currents, you can't drop it straight down. It ends up being out behind your boat like this. So to get it down to the depth, sometimes you have to lay out a long scope, like a 3-to-1 scope. So you may have to line out 3,000 feet of line to get the lure down 1,000 feet deep, which is where these swordfish live during the day. So going to be interesting. Problem is, I have to set up an electrical outlet on the back of the boat to plug this thing into, have it set up into the battery bank, and the rod and reel combination cost over $1,000 for the setup. So I may or may not do that. It's all right, dog. It was just a bird at the window. See, now a bird hits the window, and that you bark at, and the FedEx guy comes, and you never said a word about it. You goofy dog. Hell, you look really different. Yes, Tomer, I do look really different. Feel different. Getting naked so I can get ready for the tropics. Get ready for some warm weather. 45 minutes, Bobby is going live. Well, Martin, we will be off the air before Bobby goes live. Don't worry, I will stop the live stream here so we won't miss Bobby's, because I'm going to want to go over there and watch it as well. Especially if he's going to shave his head, because that'll be funny. Well, I see where Megan might take you up on your suggestion and start her on YouTube channel. I see where Bob mentioned that on his stream the other day. Yeah, Megan has announced that she is going to be starting her YouTube channel. And that was the invitation that I made to her, is to join me on the trip. And she can use my cameras and computers and stuff to get started. And I would help teach her how to do some of the basic editing and stuff so she can get started with her own channel. And I really hope she does that. But right now, Megan just announced on Instagram that she's going to be doing a road trip. So I don't think Megan's going to be going with me. But I don't know that she's not going to be going with me. I offered to try to help her and teach her how to do that. But we'll see. It all depends on timing and stuff. I am not optimistic at this point that she'll be joining me. So we'll have to see. So, Tomer, I have to get used to it. Yeah, it takes a minute or two, doesn't it? I mean, even for me, it took a minute. Hey, Miss Lily, my dog, was kind of freaked out by it. So even she had to kind of check back with me a few times the first day, make sure it was still me without the hair and the beard. So looked a lot different. Wow, that would be awesome to see. Yes, it would be awesome to see. Can't remember what her Instagram name is. Meg Binks. Megbinks. Meg Binks is her name. You know what? I'm going to do something here. Hold on a second. Doot, 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 doot. There. Marie, you're watching. Could you please, now that you are a moderator, can you put Meg's Instagram link up on here so people can go to it? I think I made you a moderator. You're not showing as a moderator. No, you're a moderator. Huh. Didn't show up in your name. Well, Marie, you should be a moderator at this point. Go ahead and see if you can put in Meg Binks. There you go. You just type it in now. Now that you're a moderator, you're able to put in links. So just type her Instagram name on here like you were trying to go to Instagram, and it would give it to everybody else. So, is Megan going to use the name I suggested for her channel, Smiling and Looking Damn Fine with Megan? Actually, her YouTube channel is just Megan Binkley. Binkley, Megan Binkley. So I don't know if she's going to change it, but she does have a YouTube channel called Megan Binkley, and there is one video up on there from a while ago. So hopefully she'll be adding to that one. Although, I don't know. She might start a new one. It's hard to tell. So time will tell what she does. Okay, and so now I'm getting a phone call, and I don't want a phone call. Okay, I'm not getting a phone call. Great. There you go, at Meg Bink. Thank you, Marie. So there's Megan's Instagram account is just at Meg Bink, just like that. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, listen, unless somebody else has got some questions for Grandpa, why don't we go ahead and end it here so everybody's got time to go get a bathroom break or what have you before heading over to Bob at Sailing Doodles live stream, which I guess is going to start here in, 35 minutes, unless you guys have got some more questions or something for me. Other than that, this week coming out, I do have a packing of fishing gear video I'm going to be doing. And I have a video I'm working on with Lily, with the Lily cams, kind of giving a dog's. There's some funny stuff in there, like I do a real slow-mo of her running with throwing a tennis ball for her and her running after that, and you can see the ears flapping in the breeze as she runs. She does bounce a lot, so she's not a good camera person. She's really not. She's not at all stable. So, what are your thoughts on the Tartan 37? Brad, I think the Tartan 37 is an excellent boat. It's a good old school heavy built boat. The Tartans are a high quality boat, the Tartan 37. So I think it's an excellent sailboat. But it all depends on the shape that they're in and what's going on with it. So you'll have to look at each one individually. Like all boats, some boats have issues one way or the other. I'm not exactly sure what the issues may be with a Tartan 37. So you'll have to get online and do a little research on them. But, as I understand, the Tartan 37 is a pretty darn good boat. Not too different, really, from the CNC 37, actually, which is what I will be sailing for the time being. So, all right. So, everybody, yeah, if you could, please do like and subscribe if you would. We would greatly appreciate that. If you can, go over and check out my Patreon page. It's building quite nicely now, picking up a lot of new patrons as we're getting closer to sailing time. So if you guys would, go check that out. Here's the page for that. And we will see all you guys. Hold on. When you are sorting out your fishing gear, you might consider a box for gear you might trade with other cruisers when you're on the water. Yeah, Dave, I will be having some trade gear I'll be taking with me. Not so much for other cruisers as much as for gifts to people in remote areas that maybe don't have access to a West Marine. Some old reels and stuff that I have that are still in good working order and serviceable. I'll be donating those to people along the way. But okay, guys, well, please check out the Patreon page if you're so inclined. We will try to catch you guys all later. be sure to tune in to Bob at Sailing Doodles. He'll be doing a live stream here in about a half hour. And check out the other channels that are on here. I think Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures, I think they're the only YouTuber I saw on here today. But check out Carl and Jenny's YouTube channel. They do some really good footage. They're an English couple in the process of buying a boat down in Greece. So it's pretty interesting stuff. So anyhow, guys, we'll talk to you all next time. Take care. Have a good day. And be sure to tune in to Bob's live stream. See you then, guys. Bye.